Streaming live from Jamaica in the Caribbean, it's Mr. Wilson Biology Live here this another Friday evening. Welcome to another Mr. Wilson Biology Live. Here we seek to learn basic contents of biology, human and social biology, while fostering a Caribbean integration in this virtual classroom. I'm very happy to have you sharing with me this evening as I try to get you to the mountaintop. The mantra is, if you never get to the mountaintop, of course, show someone the way. For those persons who are joining us for the first time, welcome. For those who are in distant land, I also welcome you. And for those who are locked and loaded, ready for the questions, ready for what is going to be an exciting evening, I also welcome you. I must say before we get into the meat of the matter this evening, that in our last broadcast on our last stream on Wednesday, we had some issues with the local internet service. Our system just went down, the screen went blank. We tried to close the program. We were unable to close the program. It took some time before the program actually closed itself. And we do apologize for that. We can't guarantee that it won't happen again. However, so as to ensure that we have a better communication and reach you better, and also to ensure that you are able to watch the replay with great ease, we have actually separated the program in 2 hours. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be having 1 hour, then we're going to end it, then we're going to use another live, which is already there, and you're going to log on again for the second phase of the program, so that those persons who have to watch the replay, it would have been much easier for you to watch 1 hour replay than another hour replay, rather than to having a 2 hour replay. We had our friend Amanda from St. Vincent and the Grenadine in our last show. We're not sure if she'll be here today, but we do hope that she'll be here with us today, sharing in. If there's anybody new to the show this evening, we want to identify with you. Of course, if you're Jamaican, wherever you are from, if you're new, just say in the chat, I am new. Let us give you that warm welcome that is we have come so used to extend to all our friends and, of course, colleagues in the show. Good night, sir. Good day. Kiki, are you new, Kiki? I don't have my assistant with me now to tell me the persons who are new on the show. Usually I have somebody working in the background who gives me a bit of information so that I can, of course, move through smoothly. But of course, again, I am really, really happy to be with you. I am new. It's Annie. All right, Annie, where are you from? Are you Jamaican? We try to identify that before we go. Not that it seriously matters whether you're Jamaican or from another island. It doesn't really matter. But we really want to know the reach, how far we're reaching. Are you from Jamaica, Annie? Yes, no, maybe so. Welcome. So you see our family, we're welcoming you, the big family here. They are always here with me. Always. All right. Welcome. Wonderful. All right. So this is one of probably the biggest Caribbean show. For those persons who are on and you would have gone to my channel, let me tell you some things that I have changed to better serve you, that you can follow what I'm doing on the channel. You would have observed that today I sent out 2 animations of labs, virtual labs. And these are 2 labs that these are 2 labs from the syllabus for both biology and HSB. One of the lab is to determine if light is needed for photosynthesis. I sent out an animation today. The other is to determine if chlorophyll is needed for photosynthesis. That was sent out today. Now, if you want to understand what we're doing on the publication and you want to help us with what we publish and that type of thing, you should go to my channel. And I don't know if you're going to be seeing community on your side or you're going to be seeing discussion. But be it you're seeing community or discussion, when you log into my channel, you will see a long listing of what we have all planned. So all the shows are lined up, I think, until about next week, Wednesday or the following week. The shows are lined up what we're supposed to cover. Also, you will see what videos we'll be sending out for the week or the videos that are coming out shortly. If we made errors, like we make error, well, it's natural because it's a real-time show. We don't use a PowerPoint to run the show. It is pretty much fueled from what you say. While we have a big topic, we listen to the learner. Of course, we're gauged by the syllabus and we present in that format. With that said, I'm going to be doing this correction in the Wednesday show. But last week, Wednesday, when I was pretty much developing, putting the show together to get on the road, and I said that food web is a interconnection of food web. It should have been an interconnection of food chain. Now, there's much more to that lesson that I'll be presenting next Wednesday. So don't worry yourself. I listen to the show. I listen to the entire show. We listen, we look for errors, we look for everything. We look for things that we would have missed, questions that were asked. If we did not answer them, we try to look for those to ensure that we have them in the show to come. Now, we also sent out yesterday, forgive me, my son is in the background crying, only about 8 months old. All right. For those persons who are locked and loaded to my channel, you would have seen that we sent out ads yesterday. Yes, I'm teaching HSB as well. It's a bio HSB. Yes. For those who are locked and loaded to my channel, you would have seen we sent out ads yesterday, video ads. We also have a picture ads. I'm asking you as much as possible to share it with your contacts. We want to build this community. We still think that we are probably one of the biggest community in the Caribbean because we are teaching the entire Caribbean. And of course, we want to ensure that that continues. So we want to grow the numbers. All right, so Kiki is here, new, and we have Annie that is new. We have a section where we look at integration. So we're going to be kicking that off about the last 15 minutes of the show. And we'll get to know everybody and you'll get to know us just the same. So this evening, we're going to be looking at digestion, the Holozoic nutrition, if we could say the Holozoic nutrition. And as usual, I'll be relying on you to assist me with the show. So you're not going to fall asleep. It's important you have a textbook. It's important that you have a pen, paper, that type of thing, writing material, so that you can be a part of the show. So this evening, we're going to be starting off with what we refer to as Holozoic nutrition. Particularly, we're going to be looking at digestion and the digestive system. Now, the syllabus, might I point out, is a little different here for biology versus HSB. I'll try as much to do the integration. I'll say to those persons in biology who don't have to cover some of the things on HSB, it would be good if you know it just the same, because I think these are well-written syllabus. Whether you are doing bio or HSB, I think that it is good knowledge for us all. So we're going to start off this evening, like I say, with digestion, and then we're going to be diving right into the digestive system. So we're going to get into the mouth. Are you ready to go? Let me hear somebody say yes if you're ready to go. Are you ready to go? Let me see in the chat. Is it working? Atisha is not here. Tanisha is not here. Amanda from St. Vincent, I'm not seeing you. Is there anybody from any other Caribbean island? The chat. Amoy is saying that I'm ready. Angel is saying that I'm ready. Kiki is ready. Butterpills is ready. So let's go. So we're going to start off this evening with dentition. Annie's saying yes. We're going to start with dentition. And let us start very slow. You're going to help me here. Now, when we talk about dentition, we're really talking about, oh, Kiki is from St. Lucia. You are from St. Lucia. So you get a Mr. Wilson dance because you are from St. Lucia. You are not a Jamaican national, and it is a Caribbean show. So once you are here from another Caribbean island, and if you are new, I think everybody's dancing. It's just like you're not seen. Once you come from somewhere else, once you're new to the show, you get the Mr. Wilson dance, that type of thing. So this evening, we're going into the mouth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kiki is from St. Lucia. Big up yourself, Kiki. That is a Jamaican language. That's how we're going to talk to you, so you learn a little Jamaican before you leave. We don't want you to just leave with the bio. All right, Kiki, we have a show on Friday evening at 5, Sunday at 5, Wednesday at 5. Friday evening is pretty much for grade 10, bio and HSB. Sunday is for grade 11, bio and HSB. Wednesday, we do ecology. That's the lineup. Go to my channel and you'll see what we do when. Or you can ask the friends here. This is a big family. Everybody here is my family. When they don't turn up, we are. Where is am I? That type of thing we ask of persons. All right, good. So there are two types of dentition, we'll say. Two types of dentition, right? And digestion is very, very important for us as human. All right? It is important because it increases the surface area of a food that we eat so that it makes the digestive process, absorption, that type of thing, much easier. But when we were born as kids, the teeth that we had, they're not pretty much the same that we have now. We would have changed them then. So I'm going to be asking you very quickly. I'm going to pull in from some of your prior knowledge. Write me very quickly in the chat the dental formula for the milk dentition. The dental formula for milk dentition. That's the type of teeth you find in babies. All right? I go a lot of layman, so just work with me. If you're from another Caribbean island and you don't understand what I'm saying, just tell me. I'll slow it down and I'll give it to you a little easier that you can manage. All right? So wanted milk dentition. Just write it in the chat for me. All right? Remember the type of teeth. Remember? Let's go. Teeth. All right? We have incisor. We have canine, we have premolar, and molar. So we have incisor, canine, premolar, and molar. Sir, I don't understand. Very good, very good, very good. All right, we're talking about the teeth in the mouth now. All right, I don't know that we have teeth anywhere else, but talking about teeth. Now, if you have sibling babies or so on, they would have teeth. All right? Or at some point about 6 month old, they're about, they start growing teeth. And when they're about 6 year old, they're about, they start falling out. Now, at that age, you would have about 20 teeth. And then as you get older, the numbers will increase. Now, what we're asking for is what we refer to as the dental formula. The dental formula, it pretty much gives us the teeth, the number of teeth, as we cut, what we refer to as bilateral symmetry. So we can cut down the middle here. I've been saying that. And the left side would look like the right side. All right. So what it does is a cut like that. And then we are looking at the teeth up and down, top and bottom. So when you give it, it's like you're going to say I, that is for incisor. And then you're going to say the number that is at the top going across. That's one side, you know. So for example, let me just look at human. Let me look at adults. Sorry. Let me look at adults. If we are looking at adults for the dental formula, I, which is the incisor, would have been 2/2. So now we are going to need to find out what is C. We are going to need to find out what is PM and what is M. All right. Do we understand now? So Amoy Lawrence is looking at the dental formula for babies, the milk dentition. That's what she looked at based on what I'm seeing here. She's saying 8, 4, 8. Yeah, that's right. But molar. But that's not what I really want. That is the number of teeth that they would have that would add up to 20. But what I want now is the dental formula. You've never heard about the dental formula, nobody? The dental formula? If no is the answer, remember you type no, you know, so we keep going. 2 incisor, 1 canine. But remember, put 1. If you're going to put incisor, put like 2/2, 1/1, that type of thing that we understand. All right. Don't worry yourself, butter pills. We're going to sort that out. All right. So are we ready? I'm going to do the one for baby. Milk dentition, babies. So it's going to be I, and it's going to be 2/2. What's that mean here? It's going to be I, capital I, and it's going to be 2/2. And I'm going to space that, and I'm going to put in C, and C is going to be 1/1. And I'm going to space that, and then I'm going to do PM, and PM is going to be 2/2. And then I'm going to be spacing that, and M is going to be 0. All right, just let me space that. Sorry. 0. All right. So that's what we're saying. All right. So let me explain what is happening there with the milk dentition. For butter pills, we're starting out a little slow. Never mind, we're going to speed it up. I is for incisor. you have an appreciation that these at the front here, they are called incisor. But we're looking at the baby now, incisor. Then we go around here, we soon talk about the teeth. All right, go around here, and then we are going to have this pointed teeth here, we call it canine. Some people call it dog teeth and all sort of foolish. All right, and then after that, we have the premolar, and then to the back, we have the molar. However, in the baby, there is no molar. So what they have would be incisor, canine, and of course, premolar. Now, to find the total number of teeth in a child's mouth, all you need to do with that dental formula is to multiply it by 2. So if you multiply it by 2, you should get the full numbers. Now that I have done it for the baby, which is the milk dentition, we call it milk teeth or milk dentition, whichever one you want to call it. Milk teeth or milk dentition, whichever one you want to call it. Now we're going to do it for the permanent teeth. So that's the one that you and I would have. Anybody want to attempt writing that for me? Permanent teeth. The dental formula for permanent teeth. Want me to start? So I'm going to start it for you. So it's going to be I, and I is going to equal 2 upon 2. Right? So what I'm saying that I'm going to have 2 incisors. All right, right in the middle here. Go down the nose bridge. I'm very practical. Right in the middle here, I'm going to have 2 incisors to this side. That's what it is saying. And I'm going to have 2 incisors to this side. But remember, the dental formula only deals with a half of the mouth on either side. All right. So there I showed you for incisor, I'm going to have 2 upon 2. So to know the total number of incisors that I have, you would multiply that by 2. 2 2 is 4. I would have 4 at the top, and I'd have 4 at the bottom. All right. So write for me very quickly now. Probably you have to count them in your mouth. Probably you get them wrong. Never mind if you get them wrong. This is where we get things wrong and make it right. All right. Go for me now. Dental formula. We still don't understand. If you don't understand, you have to talk. We don't want to hold the show and don't get moving. Dental formula for permanent teeth. Dental formula for permanent teeth. Oh my, all right. So, you know, if you stay too long, I have to just move it. So it's going to be 1 C equal 1 upon 1, and it's going to be PM equal 2 upon 2, and then molar is going to equal 3 upon 3. All right, so canine 1 upon 1, very good. Premolar 2 upon 2, and molar 3 upon 3. Now, some mathematician in the group, I want you to multiply all that by 2 and tell me how many teeth we would have. All right, very good. Butter pills, you're getting it, man. All right, you're in with us. So that's a permanent dentition. Now we talk about dentition, we're talking about the teeth. All right? All right? Good. So tell me how many teeth you would have as adults? Anybody got that? So you're going to multiply all those numbers by 2, and then you can tell me the total number. Everybody is with 32, is that correct? Kiki? St. Vincent? Kiki? Where are you? Are you with us? Kiki, St. Vincent, are you with us? Is there anybody here from Trinidad? Only 2 persons. What's that mean? Is the internet service that bad? All right, let me try something else. I think the maths might be a little issue. So let me try something else. There are 4 types of teeth in the mouth. Could you name them for me? 4 types of teeth. We're going to be looking at the teeth inside out, and then we move on. 4 types. Name them for me. 4 4 types of teeth. What's that mean? The service is not working. Are you with me? Incisor, Lenny Cooper. That's 1. Anybody else? Let's go. Incisor canine, premolar, and molar. Incisor canine, premolar, and molar. Incisor canine, premolar, and molar. Where are the others? Where are the others? Come on, type your answer. I don't want anybody to fall asleep on me today. Incisor canine. Nikisha, hi. Incisor canine, molar, premolar. Very good. Incisor canine, molar, and premolar. So it's pretty much ICDMP. All right. So incisor, canine, molar, and premolar. Now that we know the names of these teeth, we must be able to identify them. So if you were to see them outside of in the mirror, you should be able to identify them. If you were supposed to be told about them based on description or function, you should be able to identify them. So this particular teeth, it is chisel shape. Flat chisel shape. All right. It is used to cut food and, of course, to bite off pieces of food. So you want to bite a piece of dumpling. I don't know if Kiki eat dumpling over there. Kiki, what's that mean? No. What are you saying, Kiki? Tell me. All right. Keep typing your answer. I want to hear what Kiki is saying. We'll leave no one behind. Kiki, what's the challenge? You're saying no. Tell me what's that mean. All right, Butterpill is saying incisor is that chisel-shaped teeth. It's flat. It's used for biting. Lenny Cooper is saying that the incisor, I don't know as yet. I'm listening to everybody. Anybody with a different answer? Anybody with the same answer? You can keep typing the same answer. You know, that's fine. Kiki, are you with us? Kiki from St. Lucia, are you with us? You're streaming with your family here in Jamaica. We want to know that you're with us. All right, so Angel Moore is saying incisor. Butterpills is saying incisor. Lenny Cooper is saying incisor. Nikisha, you don't want to weigh in? Amoil, okay, very good. So there's some problem with the internet. I was saying that now that we have, oh, what is the question? There we go. Now that we know the names of a teeth, right? It is very, very important for us to be able to identify them if we were supposed to see them. It's very important for us to be able to identify them if we were supposed to be told about them. Be that it's a description or otherwise or function, we must be able to identify that teeth or that tooth. All right? We must be able to identify that. Now, what I'm asking you to do, I just gave a description and function of a tooth. And I wanted you to tell me which tooth that was. So I said that it was flat, it was chisel-shaped, and of course, it is used for biting, for cutting food. Which teeth would that be, or what tooth would that be? That's the question. 3 persons said incisors. I don't know if it is the incisor. I'm waiting on everybody else. I'm fueled by the group. All right. So Kevon McKenzie saying that incisor, Siki Blank, I think, incisor. So that's 4 persons. All right. Amanda Andrews is here. Good evening. Amanda Andrews is here from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All right. And Amoy Lawrence from Spanish Town is also saying incisor. Very good. Is there anything else? Don't be carried away by me, you know. I say very good for everything. Natisha is saying incisor. You're saying something? Oh. All right. Bonita, incisor. I don't know Bonita. That's a new name, so we need to talk at the end of the show. Incisor. Indeed, it is the incisor. Indeed. Indeed. Very good, Amanda. Indeed, it's the incisor. Now, there's this other teeth, or this other tooth. Tooth, singular, teeth, plural. There's this other tooth, and it is used for crushing. This is a very tricky one. It is used to grind and crush, but it has about two pointed cusp, about two pointed cusp. Which of the tooth this is? Oh, Kiki saying I44. Oh, I see where you're coming from. Kiki, I'm going to take that right off of this. All right, anybody else? Kiki, I'm coming right to you. I'm following what you're saying. Premolar, 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 premolar. All right. Kiki is saying 36. That's a number. 36, Kiki. Just let us get back to that. Family, I want you to help me. We have Kiki. She's from St. Vincent, and she's saying that she's not so convinced with what we said about the dental formula. So we're just going to wait one bit and treat with what Kiki has to say. She's saying that I, which is the incisor, is actually 4 and 4. Now, we are saying that it is 2 and 2. She's also saying that the total number of teeth that we have would be 36. So now we have to help Kiki with that bit. So Kiki, let us slow it down and deal with it. Remember we said, yes, premolar. I'm trying to find my pen. Remember we said that we are what we refer to as bilateral symmetry. What it means is that if we were supposed to cut down the middle here, the left side would look like the right side. Now, I'm going to be drawing what I consider to be a mouth. All right, and I'm going to put in what I consider to be some teeth. All right, we tend to do this from time to time. All right, so if you can see what I have here, Kiki, you would say that this is what you're referring to, right, Kiki? Say yes for me. Oh, she's from St. Lucia. Kiki is from St. Lucia. I'm very sorry. So Kiki is saying that the dental formula incisor would have been this. The truth is, we have this amount of incisor at the top. At the top. No, please, 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 we don't laugh here. No. No, we don't do that. Don't LOL unless it's a joke that is given by somebody. Please, we are very empathetic here. Please don't do that. We protect everyone, all right? And this is probably the only forum where it is fine to be wrong. It is all right to be wrong. Because as some person would say, Jesus came for the sinner, not for the saved. We are here to ensure that persons learn. All right? And it doesn't matter if you are weak. It doesn't matter if you are in grade 7. It doesn't matter if you are in 6th form, college, teacher, or otherwise. We are going to be embracing each other to ensure that we grow as one big family. So let us not, I don't know why the LOL is there, but I'm just going to ask, please don't, I am laughing at, oh, you're laughing at my drawing. Well, that is a good laugh. You can always laugh at my drawing. That is always nice. I like that. Sorry about that, Cooper. All right, so here it is. I was waiting on Kiki to respond. Here it is. So that is pretty much the 4 I have at the top here. But when we spoke about the dental formula just now, I'm going to draw the bottom as well. When we spoke about the dental formula just now, I want to draw it like that. So this is what you call a dental-free chewing system. So when we spoke about this earlier, this is what Kiki would have, I think Kiki is referring to. All right. So what I said in the dental formula, when we are doing the dental formula, what we do, I'm going to draw a vertical line now. We're talking about half of the mouth. Either we are going to count this way or we are going to count that way, whichever way. All right. So that is how we end up getting 2 upon 2 for the incisor. See it? 2 upon 2 for the incisor. 2 upon 2 for the incisor. And if we were supposed to draw the canine around there, we're not leaving anybody out, you know. What we tend to do is to do a whole lot of drawing with my paper to ensure that everyone understands. So I'm going to be drawing the canine. And they are very rude. They tend to call the canine dog teeth. I don't know my drawing. You might laugh up to me now. Okay. All right, good. So here it is. This is the canine. See them? These pointed teeth here. And if you observe in the formula, it is saying 1 upon 1, right? And not 2. So this is what we were saying, Kiki. We have cut the mouth down the middle like that. We are doing the dental formula for top and bottom for one side. Are you with me? All right, good. Good, good. So the dental formula is that which we gave you. We're sure that it is correct. I am not too sure why you said what you said, if it was an error or if it's something on your syllabus, but it wouldn't be a different syllabus. It's the same CXC syllabus across the Caribbean. So we are sure that we are on the same page. Now, I gave you something just now and you were answering just before I aired and said, I don't know where I said, but Kiki is from St. Lucia. Now, the teeth, of course, are the two that we're looking for is the premolar. So now that we talk about the premolar, now we could talk about another one. Now, this one has 4 to 5 cusp. All right. And it is used to crush, of course, and it is used to grind food. Which are the two we're talking about? Very good, Kiki. All right. Type fast for me. I like when you type fast. Type fast. I want it to come from up here. I like to say it's coming from up here. All right. Butterpills, molar. Amoilar, it's molar. Cooper, molar. All right. Nitisha is saying canine. Yes, I want to confuse. I want you to type some things that not with the norm, but I want you to type. Amoy, all right. St. Vincent is saying molar. Jamaica is saying molar. Also, St. Lucia is saying, I think St. Lucia said molar, or St. Lucia is not here as yet. All right. I think it's sort of slow going to St. Lucia, but we'll get the answer from St. Lucia in a bit. All right. So we're looking very, very good. Nitisha, do you want to revise? You want to look over that answer? We said it has 4 to 5 cusp, right? And it is used for grinding. All right. Elena Johnson, molar. Indeed, it is the molar. All right. It is the molar. So now that we are able to, one, identify the teeth types, now that we're able to describe them, now that we're able to talk about the function, it is time for us to look at the internal, external, and internal structure of a tooth. Now, one thing is typical about teeth is that the inside of all is pretty much the same. All right. Remember, if you're still not with this dental formula, if you still can't identify the position of the incisor, the canine, the premolar, and the molar, let us do it one more time before we hop on into the internal structure of the tooth. All right. So if you still can't do it, just say, let's do it one more time, and we will do it one more time. We teach a little slower here than we would in actual face-to-face class. All right. So everybody's fine. Kiki, are you on top of things? Amanda, are you on top of things? Something is wrong. I'm not seeing Quenisha. I'm not seeing Tanisha out of Guyana. I'm not sure what's happening this evening. If it's a connection, I'm not too sure, but I'm not seeing them. All right. So I take it that we're all on board so we can move ahead now. So we're going to be looking at a tooth. Yes, please. What is yes, please? For us to go over or to move on? Amanda, should we go over? Just say go over for me. All right, no, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. All right, I take it that we should move on. If it is not move on, just type the word go over and we'll be fine. All right, so a tooth is really made up of two parts. Two parts. I want you to name in the chat the two parts. Oh, you're following. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so a tooth is made of two parts. Two parts. I want you to name these two parts for me. Two parts. I want you to name them for me. I keep naming them. You know I'm not going to stop you. I want everybody to be a part. I don't want anybody to fall asleep. So name the two parts of a tooth. The two parts of a tooth. Two parts. It's made of two real parts, two main parts, and then we can talk about all the other parts. But it's actually two main parts. All right. We always want to hear what you have to say. Two main parts. Continue going for me. Anybody else with anything different? Is there anything else I need to address? All right, I'm going to address something now. I'm going to ask Kevin. I'm going to ask Kevin just to look at your answer and tell me if you really want to keep that answer. All right? Kevin, do you want to keep that answer? Do you want to keep that answer? Kevin, do you want to keep that answer? All right, I'm going to be asking somebody to tell me if Kevin is correct. I'm going over to Amanda Andrews from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Amanda, is Kevin correct? Yes or no? Amanda, is Kevin correct? Yes or no? He's saying that the two major parts of a tooth is the enamel and the dentine, or the dentine. Is he correct? Natisha, would you like to help Kevin? Lenny Cooper, would you like to help Kevin? All right, no, please, that's fine. So Amanda is saying that you are not correct, Kevin. So you will have to revisit. Lenny Cooper, would you like to lend him some answer for that question? The two major parts of a tooth? Lenny Cooper, would you like to lend Kevin some answer? Lend Kevin answer there. Okay, so we're not at the enamel. We're not at the enamel as yet, based on what Natisha Francis is saying here. So Kevin, what we're looking for, the answer that we're looking for is, of course, the crown and the root. Now, what I want my audience to do now is to tell me the parts of a tooth that we would have found in the region of the crown. The region of a crown. Remember, part of a tooth that would be found in the region of the crown. I'm waiting. The enamel and dentine, that's all? You want to revisit that answer? Would you like to revisit that answer? Enamel and molar, enamel and gum, Andrews. Come on, guys. Try again. Try a little harder. Some persons are playing it safe. Lenny Cooper is saying enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessels. Please don't play it safe. Go reckless with your answers, please. A nerve. Angel Moore, I think you're playing it too safe. I think you're playing. Give me all the answers one time. Amar Lawrence, you said something and then you said, give me all the answers one time. The question is, name the parts of a tooth that can be found in the region of the crown. That can be found in the region of the crown. All right, I want you to name them all. And I want you to go reckless. Don't play it safe. If you play it safe, you'll always in the safe place and nothing new will come. I want you to make the mistake so we can correct them or you can correct them and we move on. Remember, the crown, not the root, the crown. So amoy, enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessels. Alina Johnson, enamel, dentine. Is that all? I want everything up there, you know. I want everything up there. All right? Come on, I'm waiting on some answers. It's an interactive show. Nobody fall asleep. Token response, and I don't want to call out anybody. All right, butter pills, enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessels. I don't know. Everybody is giving answers. I'm getting so many different answers. What is the correct answer? Come on, guys. Don't play it safe. Don't play it safe. All right. Nerves, pulp, enamel, blood vessel, dentine. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So I was looking for a paper to quickly draw a tooth so that we can treat with it a much faster. I think I need some blank paper. I don't know if you're using a text. I do hope that you have a text that you could look at. If you don't, it's going to cause a little problem because you might not be able to see what I want to show you. All right. So the parts that we were looking for are enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessels. All right? These are the 4 that we're looking for. Now, while the gum, you can see the gum is not really a part of the tooth. The gum helps to hold the tooth in place. All right? So you want to be able to identify that bit. All right? Then, having been able to identify what is, of course, in the crown, then you need to identify what is in the root. And not only just to be identifying. So now we are trying to identify the various parts. Then we must be able to describe them and then tell about the function. So let us go. Now we are getting into the root. So when we get to the root, under the gum, we are going to have the jawbone. After the jawbone, where do we go? What's next? After the jawbone, where do we go? All right, so we're going to have the jawbone. We're going to have nerves. We're going to have cement. And then we are going to have a pyrodental membrane. All right? We are going to have, so let us just name the part of the tooth for me. Now I want you to just name all the part. Don't tell me about the crown and the root now. Just tell me about the part of the tooth. And I want you to also include the gum and jawbone. So I want you to write them one time and post so that your thing come up with everything. All right? Now, having completed the tooth, we are going to go into tooth decay. So we're now looking at the tooth. We're going to look at the function of a various part. Then we are going into tooth decay and then to tooth care. And most of this is for HSB. For human and social biology, tooth decay and tooth care, that's yours. Everything that we have been doing so far that is for both bio and HSB. So as soon as I get to that place where I need to point out the difference, I'm going to do that. All right, so persons are typing away. They want to tell me what are the different parts of a tooth. Persons are typing away. You're going to be telling me the different parts of a tooth. All right, good. All right, so butterpills is in enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessel, nerve, cement, fibers, gum, jawbone, amylolarynx, enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessel, gum, jawbone, nerve, cement, pyrodental membrane, Lenny Cooper, enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessel, gum, jawbone, nerves, fibers. Where are the other persons? Where are the other persons? Don't fall asleep on me now. Where are the other persons? We have to identify these regions, and then we are now going to be looking at function. Where are the other persons? I really don't want to leave you now. I don't want to get to the next stage before you post. So post for me very quickly. Post for me very quickly. We want to know the different parts of a tooth. And we have been doing wonderful so far. All right. Alena Johnson, enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, gum, jawbone, nerves, blood vessels. Natisha, I think that should be crown, but we didn't want you to write the crown. Root, I think that should be dentine, cementum, jawbone, pulp, blood vessels, enamel, nerve. Otisha Gray is with us. Good evening from Guyana. Enamel, pulp cavity, dentine, gum, cementum, root, crown, nerves, blood vessel. Angel Moore, enamel, dentine, pulp, pulp cavity, cement, blood vessels, nerve, gum, fibers, jawbone. Guys, we need to know all the region, because when we talk about tooth decay and we are making reference to these different parts of the tooth, you must be able to follow. All right? Where are the others? I'm not seeing. I want everybody to be a part. And for those persons who have entered their answers already, now I want you to tell me the function of the enamel, the dentine, the pulp cavity, the cement, and of course, the pyrodental membrane. I want you to tell me those, and then I'm just going to be asking, boop, when you're finished, some other shorter questions that you have to do no research on. Amanda Andrews, St. Vincent and the Grenadine, enamel, dentine, pulp cavity, blood vessel, nerve, gum, and of course, I think that should be jawbone. All right? All right, so I think everybody's on ball. I think Jamaica is doing well. I think St. Lucia is doing well. I think St. Vincent and the Grenadine is representing well. And I think Guyana is also doing well. We are really, really happy to have everyone here this evening. I'm still asking for persons from Trinidad. I'm not too sure if you're here and not answering, but welcome to you all. I think we are enjoying what's happening now. It's not a show that I download. Unless it's a topic that I need to download, I download. Outside of that, I ask you to answer the questions. All right, so it says enamel protect the tooth and against decay. Interesting. All right, keep typing those and let me get to the part of the tooth. Keep typing your answer for that and let me just address the part of the tooth as we move on. So the enamel, yes, that is correct. That is a part that you're looking at now. If you can see my mouth, that's pretty much an enamel. All right, it tends to be white for most persons, and it tends to be very, very hard. And then under that enamel, there's a much softer area that we call the dentine. And then below that dentine, there is a much, much softer area we refer to as a pulp cavity. Now, in the pulp cavity is where you are going to find the action taking place beneath a tooth, because that is where you are going to find the blood vessels. That is where you are going to find the nerve endings. And then that goes right down through a canal in the tooth down into the gum, right? Now, we're going to have the gum that most persons can see. Pink, red, persons to refer to it using different colors. Of course, that helps with the jawbone to hold the tooth in place. And then we go down and we have, like, of course, we spoke about the nerve fiber as already. We have what we call the cement, and it's like bone-like, and of course it covers the root of a tooth. Bone-like, and it covers like the root of the tooth, and it also helps with keeping that tooth in place. All right, and then we have the pyrodental membrane, and I'm going to be asking here, like I asked, I'm not going to be telling you what it's for. I'm going to be looking at what you have here. So let me go with the responses that we have here. I'm going to scroll up and see what's happening. I do hope that you are following, and if in any case you are not, just say so, and we will definitely stop and look at where we have a problem. All right, so it's saying the enamel here protect the tooth against tooth decay. Yeah, but that's a very tricky one, because we still have tooth decay, but it is this hard area that, of course, is responsible for that type of action if the tooth is properly cared for. All right, the enamel, then we go down. Let me see what's happening here. We have a gum hold the tooth in place. Amoy Lawrence is saying enamel protect the tooth against decay, insulate the tooth against hot and cold. Food provides a hard surface for chewing. That is like, wow, that's like 100% answer. Insulation, can you imagine you have your enamel and it wasn't insulated, and when you have something hot, you're affected, you have something cold, you're affected, as in the case where you're having a tooth decay. I like that answer, Amoy. I think it's a wonderful answer. It embodies a whole lot about the enamel. And then we come down to Lenny Cooper. Enamel covers the crown. The enamel covers that portion that you're looking at, that pretty jewel nice part. It is the hardest substance in the body. Hardest substance in the body, and protect the teeth. There's no teeth without enamel. It's very, very hard. It's a calcium deposition. Yeah, it's very, very hard. There are some bones that are pretty hard, like the enamel. If you think about like that in the cranium, it's very hard. But of course, it is really hard. I can say that. As to say if it's the hardest in the body, I'm not too sure about that. But it is very hard. All right. So then we get down to butter pills. Blood vessels supply the cells with food and oxygen and remove waste like carbon dioxide. Okay, that is good. Yeah, that's what the blood vessels do. And then once you're going to be talking about blood vessels, we're going to go back to basic. We're going to be talking about things like diffusion, and we're going to be talking about active transport and that type of a thing, because we're doing some amount of transport, some amount of movement. But that bit there is, of course, good. Amoy Lawrence is saying dentine forms the bulk of the tooth. The enamel protect the pulp. The enamel forms what forms the bulk of the tooth? The dentine. Oh yes. You got me there. Yes, the dentine, of course, is going to form the larger portion of the tooth, because you'll understand that the dentine, it moves pretty much from crown to root. From crown to root, you'll have the dentine. So of course, it's going to form the larger portion of the tooth. Now, of course, it supports the enamel and of course protect the pulp. That is true, Amoy. Kiki, St. Lucia, cement whole tooth in place. Yes, we're doing well there. Amoy Lawrence has something else to say here. She's saying that the pulp cavity blood vessels supply living cells of the tooth with food and oxygen. And of course, you remove, yes, we saw that. Otisha Gray from Guyana is saying enamel is the hard outer layer that protect the inner part. Yes. Amoy Lawrence again, cement covers the dentine of the tooth. Cement covers the dentine of the tooth. Give me some more on that. Who says that? Where are you? Amoy, give me some more on that. Please, give me some more on that. Butter pills. Fibers anchor the root into the jawbone. Fibers anchor the root into the jawbone. I want some more on that. To explain that for me. Fibers anchoring the root into the jawbone. What is actually fibers to you? What do you consider fibers to be? All right. And then let me come on down here. Pyrodental membrane anchors the root of a tooth in the jawbone. A key pyrodental membrane provides support with flexibility. That's true. Butterpill, sir, it says tooth. All right, butterpill, where is that? What you want me? Fibers anchor the tooth into the jawbone. Fibers. What's fibers to you? That is what I want to find out. What do you understand the fiber to be? All right. Amoy Lawrence, cement bone-like covers the root of a tooth. Yes. Natisha, the dentine, patches of damaged tooth. What? Oh, so you're saying that the dentine patches up damage done by cavity and dentine can repair itself. Natisha, under what condition does this happen? And is this a sustainable thing by the dentine? And if so, why do we have tooth decay? Explain that for me. Cement fix the root of a tooth into the bony socket. Butterpills. They are connective fibers that hold tooth to the jawbone. All right. So how different are the pyrodental membrane? All right, from the fibers. How different, I think that is where I wanted you to go. I wanted to hear something about pyrodental membrane, and that is why I was pulling you out. All right, so we were saying the pyrodental membrane contains fibers, which are embedded. So I was looking for that thing. I was looking for that answer, the pyrodental membrane thing. That's what I was looking at, but that's fine. All right, so we are supposed to, for the bio students, we are supposed to be able to label and annotate the tooth. Now, remember, when we are annotating what we do, we would label, for example, you would say the enamel, and then we write a short description or function or a combination of what it is. In most cases, the syllabus is asking for structure and function, or relate the structure to the function. So you might want to talk about the enamel being very hard, and of course an insulator, and because of that, in most cases it is sharp. It helps with grinding and cutting food. There you'd be talking about how the structure enables the tooth to carry out its function. For example, let us look at structure and function before we get into tooth decay. The incisor, based on their structure, this chisel shape, it enables them to be very effective at their function. They are very important for cutting and biting. Amoy Lawrence, according to Google, dentine and cementum can regenerate with limited, look at the bottom line there, limited capacity. That's a big one there. Yes, Amoy, look at the limited capacity. Look at the limited capacity. That is where my concern lies. All right. Not that it can't be done, but the limited capacity. All right. So yes. Yes, Amoy, that is true, but limited capacity. All right. And that is why, because of this limited capacity, that is why we have tooth decay. All right. Because it's not able to stand up to all that bacteria and acid and all of that. It's not able to do that. All right. So it can probably do a little bit. And then after that, the problem continues. You're going to have erosion. All right. Thank you very much for that, Amoy Lawrence. All right. Here we go. So I was talking about function. Sir, can you repeat, please? Daniel Williams, sir, what do you mean by limited capacity? Okay, very good. We were talking about earlier the dentine being able to fix tooth decay, right, over time. But what we were saying that while it has you want to know what is limited capacity. So let me say, once it is able to do that, it will not ultimately fix a tooth decay problem, right? So if it's something small that probably you have a little chip on the teeth or something like that, the dentine will actually help to fix that, providing that there's no other condition and providing that it is not a big thing, right? It is as if you were fixing potholes in the road and you probably have a bag of cement. Now, to fix potholes in the road, a bag of cement is limited in its capacity because the road have a whole lot of potholes like in Jamaica. So probably you need to get asphalt rather than one bag of cement. So what we're saying that if the teeth really have a whole lot of damage, the dentine will not be able to treat with all that. You are going to be having problem. You are going to have this tooth decay and the tooth will go. So we cannot rely on the fact that, hey, the dentine will serve some amount of purpose to fix this. All right? The dentine will not be able to do it all. And as such, you are going to be losing that tooth if it is not properly taken care of. So that we talk about limited capacity, right? Because we talk about regeneration. You understand that thing, building up the enamel. That would be true. But guess what? It just can do so much and no more. So it's limited in what it can do. It can't really protect you from tooth decay. It can't. Because if you continue to have poor dental hygiene, then you are going to be suffering from tooth decay. All right? So that's what we were trying to solve with that. But know where I was going? I hope I did answer the question here. Thank you very much, everyone, for the input. You know that I like wrong answers and I like right answers. And when I get an answer that is not so strong, or if I get one that I am not so happy with, then I will ask for some more content on it. Because, of course, I say that I'm not the keeper of knowledge and I am not the teacher who is going to tell a student that you're an idiot. What you're saying is not plausible. Because if you remember the story around Pluto, no teacher has the authority to tell any student that that is stupid. It might not be in the line of what you know, but probably with good explanation, we could find a wonderful answer. All right? We could get a good explanation from more research. All right? So don't be afraid to say something. And if I say, give me some more on that, I'll listen to what you have to say. It might not be where I'm going, and then we can treat with that. All right? Good. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Remember to brush your teeth. All right. We're going to be getting there, butter pills. Let us deal with function, structure, and function. And I'm dealing with structure and function for both biology and HSB student, because in most cases where we see these diagrams, the syllabus is asking you to relate the structure to the function. All right? The structure to the function. So if you look at my fingers, the structure of my hand to its function. Now, because the fingers are able to bend, because my palm is able to bend, because of the structure of my hand, how it is made, how it's made up, right? I am able to grasp this eyeglass. Look at that. All right? I'm able to do that. And all that is because of the structure. So the structure enables the function. Now look at the structure of my hand right here. I'm not able to use it to hold an eyeglass. No. Because structurally, it is not capable to do that. All right? So when we talk about structure, we're looking at how the makeup of this thing enables something to carry out a function. So we could talk about the structure of the tooth based on how the tooth is made, it's enabled it to carry out its function. The incisor, like a chisel, it's able to cut. And that is all because of the structural design. Now, when you get down to the canine, now the canine is somewhat pointed. Remember, we said the canine is pointed. And because it is pointed here, because it's pointed, now you will agree with me that it makes perfect sense to grip and to tear. Now, if you don't know about gripping and tearing with the canine, it means that you have never ever peeled a piece of cane with your teeth. You would have that piece of cane, and when you have that piece of cane that you bought, or you got from your farm, and it has all this trash, we'll call it, on the outside there, right? You don't go like it and try to peel it off. You'll never finish unless it's a very soft cane. It's a very hard cane. You are going to, first thing you're going to put it around here, right? And you're going to, you see what is happening? Grip, and then tear. And we're able to do that because the canine, based on its structural design of being pointed and the hard enamel, it enables us to grip with it and tear, right? We wouldn't do that with the canine, with the incisors. And look here, in Jamaica, we eat a lot of dumpling. We like dumpling. We like dumpling. If we're not eating more rice than Guyana, we're actually eating dumpling. So when you get your dumpling, because of how the structural design of the incisor, it enables this function. So when we get the dumpling, we're not going to go around the canine to bite the dumpling like this. No, we don't bite dumpling like that. We put the dumpling in the front of the mouth and bite it like that. All right? Or if you get an apple, for those persons who don't know dumpling, if you have an apple, you have an apple, and you want to eat that apple, you're not going around the canine to bite the apple. No, because structurally the canine is not for that. Right? However, the incisor, based on the design, the structural design, it would enable you to just bite into the apple. Wow, this is a wonderful apple. I tell you, I would have another apple right now. All right? And then now, you want to crush that food. Sir, I bite everything with my canine. Mighty Jesus. I am going to be having you on Zoom one day, and we might provide what we want you to bite. I want to see you bite it with your canine. Remember, the canine is the one around here now. So when you're biting dumpling, you put it to the side of your mouth. Butter pills, we're looking at the chat now. You're biting dumpling, you put it to the side of your mouth and bite it with your canine. Butter pills? Butter pills, answer me. Do you do that? I'm getting done with the structural design before I move on. Otisha Gray finds it a little funny. Sir, I cut up my dumpling. You cut up your dumpling with knife and fork? You don't bite your dumpling? All right, good. I'm fine with that. You don't bite your dumpling. You are from one of the better tables. All right? Probably you're not as hardy as some person. Or you cut up your dumpling with fork. You are a wonderful lady. I'm sure that somebody in this room, as soon as you're old enough, I hope you will be invited for dinner or some formal function. So we're not going to talk about dumpling. When you're having an apple, do you use a knife and fork to eat your apple as well? And like a fork to cut up the apple, or do you use your incisor to bite it? Kiki bite dumpling with any teeth. Oh, all right. You see this dumpling getting me in trouble, you know. So tell you what, I am going to move away from dumpling. Butter pills, all one bit. We have to sort this thing out. You are eating an apple. And when you're eating that apple, you are biting that apple with your canine. The teeth that we call the dog teeth. This one here, this pointed one at the side. You're eating an apple and you use your canine. Now you have an apple, you know, just a nice apple, whether it be a outer eating apple from Jamaica or an apple from some other island. You're eating an apple and you are going to use your canine. Sir, I use my incisor. I expect persons to use incisor, but we are always going to have variation. When we get there in genetics, we'll talk about that. Yes, sir. I put it to the side of my mouth and I bite it. I want to have you for genetics. There are some other things I'm going to ask you to do to see if you are an outlier in the population. No problem. If that is what you do, we still love you and we are happy that you are here. Lenny Cooper uses the incisor. Butter pills, I only use it for the American apple. You only use the canine for the American apple? That's what you're saying? Tell me. So while I wait on that answer, let us continue with structure. Okay, I see. Thank you. Thank you. You had everybody in the room worried, We were wondering, oh my. So what is it that she used the incisors for? We were wondering about that just now. We were wondering. We're really wondering. All right. So let us continue. So we are looking now at structure, how structure enable function. Now look at the premolar. They can do some amount of gripping and tearing. They can do some amount of that. And they can do some crushing. Now it is all because of how it is structurally designed. When we talk about structure and function in one of my videos I did, and I spoke about a car being underwater versus a boat being on the road, we said that can't work out. Because based on the structural design of the car has 4 tires to drive on the road. The boat does not have any tire to drive on the boat unless it is on something. However, the boat would sail on the water nicely because of the structural design. So structural design always enable function. So if it not make good, it might not function well. All right? Very good. So let us move on. We have been doing well so far. Let me get my glasses on. All right? So now we're going to be looking at tooth decay. What is tooth decay for you? Somebody type it in the chat there for me. What's tooth decay? Remember, after the lesson, after the show, I want you to watch the video. I think we should stop here and start again. But we're not finished. We're going to finish. We're going to be finishing tooth decay. Then we might end the show. If you want us to go on, we'll just go on and abandon the other show. If you want us to go on, I'll do that. But I'd prefer to stop on that type of thing. But I know that I'll lose some persons because of connectivity, and that is sometimes a problem. All right? That is sometimes a problem. To stop the show and do another show, I'm going to lose some person because of connectivity, but I'll have to find a way to sort it out. I don't know how because I have no connection. I don't know how to deal with this internet issue. All right, so let me get back to the thing. Daniel Williams, we're in a way of an enamel. Butter pill, it's when bacteria break into the tooth through the enamel and dentine. Alina Johnson, tooth decay is where the enamel is damaged. That is a very tricky answer. Alina Johnson, I'm going to come back to that. Mackenzie, sir, tooth decay is the breakdown of the teeth. All right. Kiki, sir, when you have a cavity. All right, cool. A whole lot of answers. All right. Joshua Miller, tooth decay is damage to the tooth caused by dental plaque. Somebody getting close. Is that correct? I like Joshua answer. It's a nice answer. All right. Let me just deal with John's answer before we move on. You have to be very specific when you answer a question, and your answer should not be ambiguous at any time. Let me just be devil's advocate here, Alina Johnson. Tooth decay is where the enamel is damaged. So if I fell and I chipped my teeth, then the enamel would have been damaged, but that is not tooth decay. All right, you see that? So we have to ensure that this answer is strong. But tell you what, I like your answer, Alina, because many persons had that same answer. They thought it was right, but they only knew just a while ago that it is incorrect because you represented for them. All right, thank you very much. Amoy Lawrence, tooth decay is when the bacteria, saliva, and food particles in the mouth form a Amar Lawrence, that is now telling me what causes tooth decay. All right. You're telling me what causes tooth decay. And I am like that, and I tend to draw you guys out to ensure that what you're telling me is concrete, what you know. And even if you don't know it, I like when the wrong answers are there because we get to correct some persons. On the CXC exam, sometimes we have question number 2, A, B, C. And in some cases, when you answer question A, and you go down to question B, you say, but these two questions are the same thing. No, they're not the same thing. What you did is that you answer one of the questions wrong. So, for example, for question 2A, where you should have said what is tooth decay, and question 2B, where you should have said what caused tooth decay, you said everything up by question 2A. And when you come down, you end up having some problem. So this is a question that this is an answer that we have to be paying attention to. We have to ensure that we are answering what is asked. And that is why I tend to prod you along, draw you out and get you to say all sorts of stuff. And then we correct it for those persons who don't understand and would have had a similar answer and they were shy. But Amaya, I love the answer. And remember, we want to pay attention and ensure that we are answering the question that is asked. And if on the exam paper you're not too sure, just move to the side of the exam paper and write something big and bold, or write a funny mark on the paper. That means when you go back through the paper, you know that this question wasn't answered. Because in most cases, when you leave a question and the end of the exam come in for answer it, you can't find it on the paper because you just never put in a mark there. So you want to put a mark at the side of the paper there to say, I need to answer this question. So once you see these mark on the side of the paper, oh, this question never answered, this question never answered, this question never answered, that type of thing. Always use that exam technique. Let us continue. I'm liking what I'm seeing, though. Everyone is participating. That is so wonderful. Amanda Andrews. Amanda is saying this is where bacteria makes acid in your mouth to damage the enamel. All right. I'm going to address all these. Nitisha, tooth decay is a damage to tooth caused by tooth plaque. All right. Guys, this is the same thing. Please answer what is asked. The question I asked is, what is tooth decay? The question that we are answering is 1, what is tooth decay? And 2, what causes tooth decay? Now, I don't want you to do that, because if you do that, you might end up frustrating yourself on an exam paper. Just answer what is asked. And I like this. I like that you're presenting it so that we can see, oh, look at this. This was one case where I answered, and I answered too much. I did not really answer what was asked. And as such, I knew I would have gotten a 1 for 60, but I got 3 or whatever. I just didn't answer what was asked. But what I wrote is really correct, you know, but it's not really the answer for the question that is asked. That type of thing, we have to be careful. Tooth decay is, all right. So pretty much, tooth decay is pretty much wearing away of the tooth, right? And then it started a difficult thing just to say what is tooth decay, because we're going to end up having a problem with the answer that we talk about, the tooth being chipped or damaged or that type of thing. It started very difficult. All right. So yes, tooth decay is the enamel being worn away. And then, of course, you could continue in the other question to explain that it is caused by whatever. However, if you choose to answer to say what is tooth decay, and then you are going to tell what causes tooth decay, be careful and ensure that you don't have that question to be answered later down in the passage. So tooth decay occurs when bacteria, saliva, food, particles in the mouth. Tooth decay occurs because of a number of stuff. And I'm going to be reading some of these now that persons wrote. So if plaque is built up, it can cause problem such as a hole in the teeth and gum disease. So now we're looking at what you are writing. What causes tooth decay? Everybody know that tooth decay, the easiest way to talk about tooth decay is to say tooth decay is a cavity in the tooth. Cavity. Cavity is usually related to tooth decay, not that chip in the tooth. Right? Though cavities are old, but most time we don't use to talk about you fall and break your teeth, that type of thing. We talk about a cavity. All right. So Kiki, sir, you are going too fast. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. But sometimes I go fast because the video will be uploaded and you can watch it again and watch it again and watch it again. You know, I'm sorry though, but I'll slow down. So I was saying that for the exam, just hold off, guys, with the typing. Let us clear this up. For the exam, there are some questions that it's sort of difficult to answer them without saying something else. All right? But we have to be careful that we don't waste the time on the exam people to talk about what we don't want, that what we were not asked. So like here I asked about what is tooth decay. And in most cases, persons were presenting what is tooth decay, what causes tooth decay, and then there were some persons who were presenting what caused tooth decay rather than what is tooth decay. So what I'm saying that we have to be very careful with answers like these, because if we answer questions like these, we will leave the exam writing beautiful answers that are actually facts. So when you leave the exam, you're going to read the textbook and what you wrote is correct. It's facts. But did you answer the question? No. So then you are going to ask for a remark of the paper only to find out that you had some facts on the paper, but the truth is you did not answer the questions. So you want to ensure that you're doing that, paying attention to what is asked. Sir, yes, that's for paper 2. Yes, that's for paper 2. All right. And this type of answer is that what they would put on the multiple choice as outlier, because they know that students would answer like that. So they put it there to provoke a response. And in some cases, we choose the wrong answer. All right. So tooth decay, we want to look at tooth decay. And what we spoke about tooth decay as being a cavity. And then we could get into the part of a tooth, what causes tooth decay. So I know I'm going to be listening to you because everybody would know there are many, many reasons what really causes tooth decay. Now, the bottom line is that tooth decay is caused by bacteria, food remain, moisture, a buildup of plaque, and then this acid that will be formed as a result of the bacterial action that will cause the erosion of the enamel. Now, this erosion will continue through the enamel. Then it's going to get to the dentine if it's not treated. And then if not treated, it go down into the pulp. And if it's not treated, it continue down to the root of the tooth where it will form an abscess. Now, you are going to start feeling some amount of discomfort. A person's refer to pain different, and when it gets through the enamel, and it gets through the enamel and it's entering the dentine, you're going to start feeling some discomfort. It's going to get worse once it gets into the dentine, and of course, when it gets to the pulp cavity, oh my mama me, you have to reach that dentist. And when you get to that dentist, they might tell you that they can't pull the teeth at that time because there are some other problem like an abscess and all of those stuff, and that has to be treated before it is dealt with. So I want you to look for those persons who are doing human and social biology. You must look at tooth decay. You must look at dental care. It is not so much on the biology syllabus. What's on the biology syllabus is just to look at the teeth, the internal structure, external thing, that type of thing. But for HSB, you must look at tooth decay. Now we're going to remember that you have to read your book, watch the video again that we're presenting now, read your textbook, and feel free when we get here next week, Friday, for us to have a conversation around what we did today. Now we're going to be getting into, of course, how we care for the tooth. Tell me about tooth care. Remember, there's a long list of things that cause tooth decay. We didn't even make mention of cigarette smoking. We didn't make mention of grinding the teeth when you, it's sometimes a nervous thing and you're grinding the teeth. We didn't talk about cigarette smoking. Those also cause tooth decay. And of course, if you don't have enough fluoride, that could cause tooth decay. So a whole lot of things can cause tooth decay other than just the food. Remember that cigarette smoking, remember not enough fluoride, and of course, remember that grinding the teeth could also damage the enamel and lead to tooth decay. And Kiki, visit the dentist often. All right, so to prevent tooth decay, we want to visit the dentist often. Butterpill, brush your teeth at least once a day, preferably twice. So brush your teeth twice per day. Let us try to stay away from once. Brush your teeth twice per day. All right. You want to floss regularly. Yes, continue. Continue. Avoid eating sweet and starchy food just before going to bed. So vitamin C. Lack of vitamin C will cause tooth decay. Lack of vitamin C will cause scurvy. And if it damages the gum, then ultimately the teeth, of course, will be damaged. So vitamin C, gum bleeding and all of that, it will eventually damage the tooth. All right. Do not suck finger. Eat hard and crispy food. Hard and crispy food, I have always heard about that. And this is where we get into the problem of what is crispy food. Because if I were to eat some banana chips, I might be doing myself some injustice. But it is said that you should eat hard and crispy food. We might be looking at something like sugar cane or something like that, not banana chips. All right, so eat food rich in calcium like milk. Eat food with calcium. Yes, sir. Amoy Lawrence, use good quality toothbrush. Yes, that is true. Alina Johnson, visit your dentist regularly. What is regularly? Should I go every month? 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? What's regularly? But you should visit your dentist. I think there's a number from the Dental Association. As needs be, your dentist will give you an appointment. You make another appointment and they'll tell you when it's the right time to visit. Different persons will have to visit the dentist at different time interval. Or regular the visit might be different depending on what is happening in the mouth. Let me just scroll up so I can comment on everything that's here. Use mouthwash. Yes, you want to use an antibacterial mouthwash at all time. You want to do that, and that is after brushing. Ensure your body gets enough vitamin D. Vitamin D is very good as well, and calcium. Otisha Gray, use a good toothbrush and toothpaste. Yes, very good. Use mouthwash. We said that already. Drink less acidic juice. Guys, might I just pause on this and talk about acidic juice? There's what a dentist told me about called calcium erosion. It's not everybody teeth strong. It's not everybody teeth so strong. And sometimes there are persons who eat lime because of some disorder or something, eat some real acidic fruit. And that could, over time, if you continue doing that, cause erosion of the enamel. And when erosion of the enamel start taking place, then you know that we are going to be having some cavity coming in and some discomfort coming later. Twice, Butterpill is saying visit the dentist twice per year. For some persons, it might be every 3 months, 4 or 5, but that type of thing. I suggest to you that you see your dentist to have that sorted out. I won't stay here to tell you that you should do 1, 2, or 3, but at least twice per year is good, or 3 times per year, that is good. I don't know what the textbook would have said about that, but sometimes I really don't go with the textbook because the dentist will tell you something different. Use fluoride toothpaste. Yes, that is very, very important. Fluoride in water. Yes, you can do that. Prevents tooth decay. Yes, once we are 5 to 6 months. Kiki is saying go every 5 to 6 months. I think I like that one, 5 to 6 months, almost twice per year. Every 6 months. Somebody is saying that every month. No, every month is too much, brother. If you go to the dentist so often, you might be just damaging your gum. I don't think any dentist would want to see anybody every month. Do they like the money? That is probably too much. Avoid eating hot and cold food. Amanda Andrews, you want to explain that hot and cold food type of thing for me? I want to see if I'm understanding what you're saying. Otisha Gray saying every 3 months, somewhere there about 3 to 6 months there about. Angel Moore is saying change toothbrush every 3 months. Yes, I have heard that. Change the toothbrush every 3 months. You want to ensure it's a good toothbrush. Use fluoridated toothpaste. Yes. Use antibacterial mouthwash. Yes. clean your mouth if you vomit. Yeah, this is a good one. And why this is a good one? Because remember, from the stomach, you are getting acid. So if you had that egestion, I want to say egestion, of course, it's going to leave some amount of acid in the mouth, and that too could cause some problem for the tooth. Floss between the teeth, yes, you have to do that. And of course, Joshua Miller is saying to get out the food particles, yes. And Moy Lawrence, if you have braces, it's every 3 months. There we go. And there we spoke about the knee. The knee might be different. If you're having braces, you might have to visit a little more often than other persons. Where am I? All right, good. Brush your tongue. Brush your tongue. One might be asking how brush tongue, what brush tongue has to do with tooth decay. But remember, tooth decay is pretty much fueled by bacteria. And if the tongue is not properly clean, then that, of course, would cause, of course, you would have a ready, ample supply of bacteria waiting just to deal with the teeth. They're right there on the tongue waiting. All right, so you want to ensure that that is clean as well. Ideally, twice per year. Adiplus is saying ideally go to the dentist twice per year. That is more like a standard, but we're saying that, of course, again, talk to your dentist. All right, Alina Johnson, you can use hydrogen peroxide to clean your teeth. Mama me mighty, let me talk about that one. Hydrogen peroxide might cause the gum to shrink, right? Remember that you have enzymes around this area, and it might cause some amount of damage. So you don't want to use too much of that thing unless you are supervised by a dentist or unless it is diluted or something like that. A lot of persons really don't know the power of hydrogen peroxide. So be careful with that one, all right? Hydrogen peroxide. Talk to your dentist. That could be dangerous. Let me see that. This is so as to avoid the thinning of a dentine due to too much cleaning. All right, so Adiplus is saying don't go to the dentist every month. That 1 month thing couldn't work. Twice per year, that is good. And avoid that thing that we call hydrogen peroxide. You might be causing some problem for yourself. You can use baking soda to brush your teeth too. All right, these are some things that they use. As to how ideal it is, I am not too certain. Drink water. Yeah, drink water is always going to flush the mouth and help to clean the mouth. Yes. Amanda Angel, example, don't eat hot food, then immediately go to drink cold beverage. All right. I think Amanda said this before, and I asked her to say something else on that. Just give me 1 second and let me just treat with Amanda's answer. And let me tell you what Amanda is saying, or what we should understand from what Amanda said. She said that, example, don't eat hot food and immediately drink cold water. Now, for those persons who are doing physics, you'd know about thermal expansion. And just hold the typing for a little bit and let us explain this. I don't want to miss anything. Thermal expansion. The bridge on the road has a little gap between the road and the bridge, so that when it gets hot, the bridge expands, and of course, it won't cause the bridge to break in the middle. The light wires are also built with a little sag. If you look at the light wire outside, so when the sun gets really hot and it sort of expands, the wire won't burst. The train line also is built like that, all right? Now, if you heat hot things, though you're not seeing it with your eyes and it really don't make much sense to you, what will happen is that the hot thing will cause the teeth to expand. It's not a big expansion that you're going to say, wow, him teeth get biggie, man. No, you're not going to see that. So it expands, and then you're going to put that cold water in. It's going to cause the teeth to contract very, very fast. And when it contracts very, very fast, you are damaging the teeth. All right? So that is what Amanda Andrews is saying, and that is correct. Adiplus is saying brush the tongue, especially at the back of the tongue, as bacteria is abundant there. I remember we said bacteria is a big thing for tooth decay. All the other things we talk about, bacteria, really them go to go dig down the teeth, go causes acid decay and all of that. Bacteria. Can't overemphasize that. Remember to use your mouthwash after you brush. Remember to floss. And of course, remember to visit your dentist at least twice per year. Let us continue over here. It's important always to brush your teeth before you go to bed. Always remember that. Brush your teeth before you go to bed. Gargle, it can be useful. Yes, that will take care of some things around the back of the throat, the back of the tongue. Shakila Lewis, sir, what about the clean toothbrush? Well, that's a given. We're going to use a clean toothbrush, I think. Joshua, I don't know why that face, but help me with the face. Explain for me. Natisha, toothbrush should not be too rough, because if it's too rough, it just will damage the teeth. All right? It will like carve it. You don't want to carve it with your toothbrush. Angel, yes, soft toothbrush. Not too soft, or as you might just be rubbing it off like you're using a piece of cloth, but not too soft, not too hard. Amari Lawrence, expansion and contraction eventually cause it to crack. Exactly. Exactly. And if you want to know, just get a hot, one of these char cup, and put them somewhere on the fire, get it really, really hot. Or get a plate and get it really, really hot, and just put some water in it and see what happens to it. Pow! Water can neutralize mouth acidity. Thank you very much. And that takes us, thank you very much, guys. That takes me now into digestion. And I'm going to be chatting a little bit, giving you some time to rest, some time that you can, of course, get some water as we up on into this part of the lesson that will look now, getting the food into the mouth. I know we know everything about the teeth now. We know if we carry it, we know the parts of the teeth, we know the name of the teeth. Now we are going into the mouth and we're going to go down the stomach. And I think we're going to take it this evening down to the duodenum. We're not going to pass the duodenum this evening because, of course, the other things will take some more explanation, and we might not have time for that. All right, so get yourself some water and let's get into the other phase of the show. All right, so very good. There I've had my supply of water. Water is always good for the brain. So now we talk about the teeth. We're going into the mouth. Now, I'm going to be asking you pretty soon to help me with a timeline for what we refer to as the digestive system. So what I'm going to want to know is having ingested the food. All right, good. All right, so let us just hold it for the thing. We'll finish with that part of the lesson now, and we're going to be upping on into, the digestive system. So we're going to begin in what is called the buccal cavity. The buccal cavity is the same thing as the mouth. The buccal cavity, the mouth. All right? And when we talk about holozoic nutrition, we say that it's a 5-step process, and the first part begins with ingestion, where we take things into the mouth or into the buccal cavity. In the mouth, type very quickly in this chat, in the mouth, we have the first stage of digestion taking place. What is that stage of digestion called? No, we're not an enzyme yet, but we're open to get to enzyme. All right, mechanical digestion. Very good. So mechanical digestion begins in the mouth. The mechanical digestion begins with the teeth acting on the food, chewing, crushing, chewing, crushing, chewing, crushing, chewing, crushing. So we have ingestion, and having had ingestion, then we are going to start chewing the food. Now, while we chew the food in order to break it down into more soluble substances, that water can help us to break it down even further, while we're chewing the food, there are a lot of things that are happening in the mouth. So we are chewing, mucus is being added to the food, enzyme is being added to the food, and at the same time, the food is being rolled into a ball called bolus. But let us look at some other things before we get down. So, mastication. Yes, chewing is also called mastication. Since we're at big words, just let us just deal with big words. All right, so we're going to deal with, so we talk about ingestion. We could talk about chewing of the food is called mastication as well. And swallowing of the food is called deglution. Deglution. So to swallow the food is also called deglution. All right. So in the mouth, we are having chemical digestion taking place and we are having mechanical digestion taking place. Chemical digestion, of course, the enzymes are breaking down the food. Now, in the mouth, we need to know about the pH once we start to talk about enzyme. What is the pH inside of the mouth? What pH there is inside of the mouth? So we made mention of, while you think about the pH, just let me just go over these words. We made mention of a mouth and we said that it was the buccal cavity. Then we talk about chewing and we said that chewing is the same thing as mastication. We spoke about swallowing and we said that swallowing is the same thing as deglutition. So these are some big words. Sometimes you see them on the multiple choice paper. Don't worry yourself. Deglutition, swallowing. All right. So the pH in the mouth is about 6-7, somewhere about neutral. And in the mouth, we are going to find which of the enzyme. Average. In the mouth, we are going to find, remember when we talk about pH, we are talking from about 0 up to 14 on the pH scale. All right, 7. I think I'm going too fast because persons want to type. Amoy, salivary enzyme. Amoy, you leave off something after that salivary, something. And bitter pill have piece of the answer. Amoy have piece of the answer. Put it together. All right. Salivary. Adi, you have part of the thing. So we talk about salivary amylase. All right. So in the mouth, we have the enzyme salivary amylase. And the saliva, Otisha Gray wants to know the pH. The pH is somewhere about neutral, 6-7 thereabout. That's a pH of the mouth. And that's pretty much a better pH for the, of course, the saliva amylase, because it operates pretty much in a neutral environment. So in the mouth there, the pH is going to be, of course, alkaline. We want to say alkaline. We could talk about acidic. We could talk about alkaline. But the pH in the mouth is going to be anywhere between 6, 7, 8, thereabout. In most cases, it's going to be about 7, 8, thereabout, because alkaline, 7, 8, thereabout alkaline. 6.3 might be a little too low. You have to be careful what you're eating there. So let us continue. So we have mastication taking in the mouth. Remember, taking place in the mouth. Remember, that is chewing of a food. Mastication, chewing of a food. And while we chew the food in the mouth, we also have enzyme being added to the food, and we also have mucus or salivary being added to the food. All right. Now the food is moistened and rolled into a ball. Everybody know that? The food is moistened and rolled into a ball. What is this ball called? All right. Tell me what the ball is called. And then I'm going to just pause one bit. Then I'm going to be giving you a diagram. We identify some parts and then we roll on down until we get down to the duodenum. All right, and we're going to be talking about a whole lot of stuff. So fret not. All right, bolus. I know I have the brightest set of students. So that food, of course, is rolled into a ball called the bolus. What rolls the food into the ball? That ball-like thing. What rolls it? What is responsible for rolling the food in that ball? What's responsible for rolling the food in the ball? This ball-like thing. What organ? Don't know? The tongue. All right. Some persons are a little late. The tongue. All right. So the tongue is responsible for rolling the food in a ball called bolus. All right. If you see here, I was teaching some amount of genetics today. But genetics is for Sunday. I think we go back to genetics on Sunday. But now we're looking at digestion. All right, guys. I went out and I bought this chart for you. I thought that we wanted to look at this chart and for everybody to be on board. It is not labeled with everything, but it is enough for us to walk through, and with your textbook, we'll be able to go through. So here we are saying that the digestive system refers. Can you see everything here? Can you see? Tell me if you can see, please. Can you see? The words are small. Yes. All right, cool. The chat is sort of slow for some person, but that's fine. We're waiting on you and we appreciate the answer. Now, the digestive system refers to a group of organs that break down food into smaller bits and pieces so that it can be absorbed for instance, into the bloodstream. I don't know that I like that or that is the best definition, but it can get better. So what we're going to do, we're going to take in some food now. Probably some dumpling or something, some rice from Guyana, or something from St. Lucia or St. Vincent, or something from Jamaica, some jerk thing from Jamaica. And we're going to ingest and we're going to get it right down to the anus. Now, you have to follow this activity. This class is activity driven. Because you will have to now build a timeline when we are finished here to tell me about all the parts of the digestive system. All the parts of the digestive system, not just one part. As the food moves through the digestive system, you are going to tell me. So we are going to start with here, the food gets into the what? What is this? The first part, we spoke about that a while ago. We talked about the mouth. And then we spoke about the tongue rolling the food into a ball. Now, there is this special organ. It's right here in the throat. And what it does, it prevents food from getting into the trachea. Now, I don't know how many persons would have known that we cannot swallow and breathe at the same time. Are you aware of that? Did you know that you can't swallow and breathe at the same time? Can you swallow and breathe at the same time? So it's called the epiglottis. You probably want to revisit that spelling a little bit for me. So this little area there is called the epiglottis. All right? Butter pills. It's called the epiglottis. Now, what the epiglottis does is to cover the trachea when you are swallowing. Let me see what is happening here. No, sir. Okay, no, we can't breathe and swallow at the same time. If you try to breathe and swallow at the same time, what will happen? Can somebody tell me? No, I'm not looking for the pharynx. I'm looking for the epiglottis. Not looking, the pharynx is pretty much the back of the throat there, but we were looking for the word epiglottis. All right, it's that little flip thing. I might do an animation and send it out for you if you're not able to identify what's happening there. You can choke. All right, I nearly died. Oh my, Joshua nearly died some time ago because, so let me just tell you some of the graphic stuff. Persons who try to talk and to eat at the same time, sometimes the epiglottis become a little confused, if it can be confused, but it just doesn't function like it should function. And all right, bitter pill. YouTube doesn't like the sentence that you sent just now. It sent me something to say that I should decide whether I post or not. But it flagged what you said a while ago. I think it has problem with some words in what you have just said, but that's fine. All right, Kevin. All right, so good. Let us go. We have to be very careful. YouTube is very, very strict on some stuff. And there are persons who are watching the live that are not logged in, and they might find some things very offensive. So in some cases, YouTube would flag some things that we say that everybody is not able to see it. And no persons can't see what you type now. I would have to give the permission for them to see. But if YouTube flag it, that's fine. We have other things we could talk about. So if you talk and you eat, you might choke and it might come through the nostril and all of that. And it's a really uncomfortable feeling. I think you use a T word in your statement that is not social media friendly. You can't use that word. It's actually a terrorist word, so you can't use that word. All right? Please remember, you know what you type. The last word that you have there is a terrorist word, so you can't use that word. It's a T word. All right? So having the food gone through the mouth, the tongue roll the food in a ball, pass to the back of the throat here, the pharynx, and then the epiglottis would have closed. Then it gets in this muscular tube. What is this muscular tube called? This long tube here. What is this long tube called? Can you tell me? I'm looking for that O word. It's E. E word. Eh? Yes, some person pronounce it as E. All right, so that I'm looking for that word. Some person say E, some person say O. All right. All right. So it is, yes, that muscular tube. Anybody else? The esophagus. That's what we're looking for. Now, before I go any further, very good. Keep coming in. Even if I respond, just keep coming in. All right. Before I go any further, I want to introduce you to a new word, a P word. No, we're not looking for gullet. We're looking, well, gullet is one of those words. It's called a gullet as well as the entire alimentary canal is called the gut. So it's called a gullet. But we're looking for esophagus though. All right. So the way the food moves through the esophagus is as if you were moving something through a socks. I might just get a socks and show you very quickly. I'm going to pause here to show you. Huh? I don't know where the ball is. All right. So here I have a socks, and I could force this into the socks. And if you observe what happens here, you observe that here is now small, and down here is small. So what happens is that you have muscular contraction taking place. The circular muscle is squeezing it down, and the food squeezes through the alimentary canal like that. Now, this contraction is referred to, I saw it in the chat there, peristalsis. All right? So this peristalsis is this muscular contraction of the circular muscles in the gut that pretty much squeezes the food down through. Now, when we leave the esophagus, we are entering another big organ here. What is this big organ here called? This big organ, what is it called? I'm looking. So we got it correct when we said esophagus. We got it correct when we said epiglottis. We got it correct when we said peristalsis. So now we're talking about this big organ. It is called the stomach. See, some person spell esophagus E and some spell it O. All right. All right. So the stomach, this big organ here is called the stomach. But there's something I want to talk about. When we spoke about circulation, we spoke about valve. Right? Now, at the top of the heart, of a stomach, right? Entering the stomach, right somewhere here, there is what is a sphincter there. Anybody know what is the name of that sphincter? A sphincter. A sphincter is something like a valve, and it should prevent backflow. So it closes and opens, like when you have this ejection thing, it causes food to come back up. But what is the sphincter at the top called? The one at the bottom is called the pyloric sphincter. There's another one down here that is called a pyloric sphincter. No, the pyloric is at the bottom. So the pyloric sphincter is at the bottom of the stomach here, but there's another one at the top. I know that most persons will know about pyloric. Yes, most persons know about that. The one at the top is called a cardiac sphincter. So cardiac sphincter here, pyloric sphincter here. Cardiac sphincter at the top, pyloric sphincter at the bottom. All right? And these pretty much close the stomach so that the stomach can carry out that churning action. All right, so the stomach is working pretty much like that, and it is churning the food, continuing the mechanical digestion. All right, and then we come down and we have here, this big brown, this is like the lobe of the body, most persons call it. What is this organ called? For the HSB students, you have to identify these things all the time. What is this organ called? This big brown looking organ somewhere here, what is it called? It's called the liver. All right. And then under the liver, there is this green thing there, this green sac. What is that called? Let me show you. So here I have, I don't want it to fall off. So we came down just now, and I'm now going into the human torso to take out some stuff to show you. So I asked about this just now. I asked about this. But then we have this thing here, this green area. What is it called? Most persons are saying that it is the, oh, Joshua Miller don't know. It's called a gallbladder. All right? It's called a gallbladder. So this big brown thing here, the liver, and then attached to the liver, we have this green thing called a gallbladder. Please do not say for your exam that it is just the bladder. It is the gallbladder. We spoke about the stomach. All right. Then we have another little thing now. You can barely see it here. I like to talk about that it's a ductless, it's a duct and ductless gland. So we have the gallbladder here. Then we have a gland right here. All right. And this is called, what is it called? It's right at the top here. Remember the last time we spoke about it? It's right at the top here. We can't just say bile. We have to say bile duct or something like that. Now you're telling me about the function. So it was a gallbladder that stores bile. Gallbladder. Okay, now we're at the pancreas. Pancreas. Very good, pancreas. Very good. We're at the pancreas. So the little thing across here that is both duct and ductless gland, it is called the pancreas. So we have to understand all these. So after the pancreas and these things are just attached to this first part of the small intestine. What is the first part of the small intestine called? The first part of the small intestine, what is it called? It's not on my diagram here. The first part of a small intestine, what is it called? It's very important for us to know that because we're going to be talking about sodium bicarbonate and neutralizing the acid and all of that. All right, some persons typing away. The first part of the small intestine is called a lot of persons typing away, the duodenum. All right, so if the duodenum is the first part of the small intestine, what is the second part of the small intestine? The second part of the small intestine. Can somebody tell me what is the second part of the small intestine? What is it called? Oh, somebody reached jejunium. Jejunium. It's quite some time I haven't heard about the jejunium. All right. Ileum. Ileum. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the ileum. All right. The syllabus speaks much about the ileum and the duodenum. I can't recall seeing the jejunium on the syllabus, but I have seen the jejunium on a number of diagrams. But it speaks specifically to the duodenum and the ileum. And those two, we want to know them because we're going to be talking about the enzymes associated with them and what type of action take place in this region. Then after we have the small intestine coming down, we have the duodenum and the ileum, then we want to talk about that area of the large intestine that the small intestine is connected to. What is that area called? The area, just that little area there where the large intestine is connected, what is it called? The area where the small intestine connects to the large intestine. All right, I don't think I'm going to be using this diagram anymore. It's a little limited for CXC. It doesn't carry everything on the syllabus. So I am back with you. Some persons are saying cecum, some persons are saying, and cecum again, they call it cecum, they call it cecum, but it's pretty much the same thing. Persons are saying that it is the colon. All right. So the big thing is called the colon. All right. So this gray area here is called the colon, right? And we could break this colon up into many little pieces. All right. So the area that it is connected is called the cecum. They would call it the cecum, and it is right here. I don't know if you can see. There is some merger here, right? Right here, it's called the cecum. Most persons would have had it, and of course, the entire region is called the colon, right? So we have what is called the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and of course, the descending colon. All right, but this particular area is called the cecum. And then just below the cecum, we have what is called the appendix, right? And in some books, it is said that it has no function in human, but in some modern research, they are saying that it carries some useful bacteria that, of course, assist the process of digestion. So we're not so, we haven't finalized on what it is really. I think we don't understand. When person say that I have appendix, I don't know if you've ever heard anybody going to the doctor and coming back, I have appendix. You always have appendix. It's just that the appendix has now become inflamed. When it becomes inflamed, they tend to just sever it and start to stitch up that area. So that bit we have to remember. Then we are going to go up and go over to the other side, and we are going to have things like the rectum. The rectum, I hope you can identify the rectum, and of course we get on down to the anal sphincter and then to the anus. So we have said a lot of stuff just now, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. I don't know how I'm going to give you a test. I think I might set a test on the Google platform, a very simple test that it will mark itself and give you the answer. So it will mark itself and give you the answer, but I can't just continue to teach and there's no assessment. So when I give you that test, you are going to log in with the name that you are using here. You are going to do the test. It will mark itself and it will give you your grade. I might set the exam that you can do it however many times you wish, right? But I will tell you when it is up and what you need to do. All right, so we have looked at the digestive system. Nobody in here, I think, would know all the parts, but we are going to walk through it very quickly, very quickly. And I'm going to walk through it now, and I'm going to be putting aside. Listen to the organs that I'm not going to put in it as yet. All right? I'm not going to put the liver in it as yet. I'm not going to put the pancreas in it as yet. But we are going to be looking at the digestive system from the mouth right down to the anus. All right? So what I want you to do now is to type for me in the chat all the parts of the digestive system except the liver and the pancreas. We'll deal with the liver and the pancreas at another time. So go right ahead. I'm waiting on that. All the parts of the digestive system, and I will tell you when I need the liver and the pancreas. All right, type away, type away, type away. All right, so what the activity now, you are supposed to name all the parts of the digestive system. We don't get to function yet now. We don't get to have a structural function type of thing. We don't get to that as yet. The first thing we want to do, we want to be able to identify the parts of the digestive system, and being able to identify the parts of the digestive system, then we are going to get into function. All right. So now you have to type everything. All right. All right, so we are going to go bit by bit, and then we are going to add this and add that and add that and add that and add that. But some things must be like rhythm. All right, so Tanisha, hey Tanisha, big up yourself out of Guyana. I didn't know that you were here. All right, so Tanisha is saying mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Tanisha, me I go body up now. You see, because of the CXC syllabus, we are not going to go with small intestine and large intestine. If you're going to say small intestine, this is what I want you to do. I want you to say small intestine, and then you're going to put into bracket what is the small intestine. If you are going to say large intestine, I also want you to put into bracket what is the large intestine. Because we have to talk about these things, like we're going to be talking about the enzymes. We want to know that if we're talking about the enzymes that are associated with the ileum, we know that that's what we're talking about. If we're talking about the duodenum, we know what we're talking about. So we don't want to just a large and small intestine. It might be a little too vague for what we're doing. All right, so let us continue. I don't know what is happening with bitter pill stuff, but the system flag it as well. All right, Alina Johnson is saying mouth, tongue, esophagus, duodenum. What's that? What's that? Colios. I don't know what's that. Sorry, forgive me. I really don't know. It was not one of those things that I'm looking for, but you can tell me what it is. Cacum. No, the cacum can't come before the ileum, and the stomach. You have to do it in order. You can't put the stomach way down there, so. No, you have to do it. It's a timeline. You must follow the sequence. So, Alina Johnson, you'll have to revisit that. I'm very sorry. Remember, you have to do it in order. So, mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. No, you're not going to skip out anything on me, Nitisha. I need to know the small intestine, the timeline. What comes first? Is it the ileum or is it the duodenum? And the same thing I want to know about the large intestine, cacum, colon, that type of thing. Right? What part you're talking about, or you want to say ascending and that type of thing. All right, detail. Ali, what's the name? Forgive me, help me. Jawaran, are you Jamaican? Jawaran. I'm very sorry if I haven't pronounced it properly. You want to tell me if you're Jamaican? The name is sort of a little strange. Mouth, salivary gland, esophagus, stomach, gallbladder, bile duct, pyloric sphincter. No, man. Please put it in order. Put it in order. I am looking at it and I'm ensuring that I'm teaching you the right thing. The order is very important. All right. Let me see what happened here. So now, Butterpill. I don't know what happened. Amoy Lawrence, you're getting flagged. Butterpill, you're getting flagged. Let me see what is happening here. Why YouTube think there's a problem. I don't know why, but there's a flag here for what you put up, Butterpill. I don't know why, but there's a flag. Gallbladder, Nitisha, gallbladder, cacum. All right, you know what? I'm going to take it through. This message L for review. Let me see what is in the message that is giving YouTube some trouble. Saliva gland, bile duct. I don't know. I think it's the same answer that Amoy would have, that Butterpill would have. I don't know. I think YouTube don't like some words there, so they are flagging it. They don't want everybody to see it. Oh, you are Trinidadian. We have waited for you for ages. Every time we are. Is there any Trinidad in the room? Is there any Trinidadian in the room? Welcome. Could we welcome our Trinidadian here? We have a Trinidadian with us. Welcome, and let us tell you about the show. I soon get back. You know, I'm very excited when I have new persons in the family, because the family is growing. It's a big family. It's growing. All right. We have a show on a Friday at 5, a show on a Sunday at 5, a show on a Wednesday at 5. There are, in most cases, we have a very interactive session. In some cases, I am like downloading, like when I'm teaching genetics, I'm the person downloading that type of thing. But in most cases, I ask you to do the research. I listen and I prod and I listen to other persons and so on. In some cases, we come and we do some past paper like we'll be doing in our next session. We must do some past paper now, based on what we have done. But welcome. Jarwawan, welcome. All right, sir. It's another name for the gallbladder. Oh my, I didn't know. Adi Plus, could you write that down for me? There's a name that Alina Johnson sent to us. She's saying that's another name for the gallbladder. I didn't know. And you know that I'm going to tell you I don't know if I don't know. I'll write that down and we can look at it. Butter pills. Why does YouTube hate me? No, YouTube doesn't hate you. It's not a case that you have to remember that we're dealing with an international community, and there are some words that we can say and there are some words that we can't say. But the good part of it is that I am seeing it, but because I'm not too sure what YouTube has some strict rules, and I don't know YouTube, they are giving me the option to show it or hide it, but I don't know why YouTube. I know where the T word I could understand, But this word, I'm thinking that it is the A word. I think it is the A word down here. So that is the problem, because it's the same reason. The answers were similar for both persons that got flagged. So I think it's the A word. So I'm not going to trouble it. YouTube don't like that word. I don't know why. They see you as a threat. Don't do that, Joshua. Joshua, don't do that. Joshua, don't do that. All right, please. Adipose, mouth, esophagus, stomach, gallbladder, pancreas, cardiac sphincter, duodenum, adipose. You're getting this one giving you a lick, brother. Look at small intestine. If you go duodenum, after duodenum, you must go ileum. All right. And then large intestine. Now, the large intestine has parts, so you probably want to say large intestine and name the parts. Amanda Andrews, welcome. All right. So that is for you, my Trinidadian friend. That's Amanda Andrews, and she comes to you from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we also have our friend from St. Lucia here. So the house is big tonight. Let me tell you all the persons we have in the house tonight. We have Trinidad and Tobago. We have Jamaica. The Jamaicans are really warm and friendly. Jamaicans say hi for me in the house. Say hi to our friends. They are really warm and friendly. Don't follow the news. Jamaicans were really, really nice. I am Jamaica born and bred. Jamaicans are in the house. We have Guyanese in the house. We have our friends from Trinidad in the house. We have our St. Lucians in the house. And we have our, what's the national? St. Vincent. I don't remember what she said her nationality was. Forgive me, my social studies rotten. All right, it's not good. All right, so we have all these friends in the house. Big up on yourself. Welcome to Jamaica. Welcome to this big classroom. We're going to be chatting in another 10 minutes about the what we call cultural interaction, where we Vincinian. That's how it's pronounced. Vincentia. How is that pronounced, Adi? How is that pronounced? I don't know if I should pronounce the T or what. Forgive me. I'm going to get better, and that is why we're having this session. That even a dummy like me, you can teach, because some things I just did not do. But you know that I'm really happy that you're here. All right, so Adi Plus, okay, sir. Hi, neighbors. Joshua Miller, big up yourself. Bitter pills. All right, good. Saint Vincentian. I was told that the nationality is Vincentian. Big up yourself. I am Jamaican, or they call we Yardi. All right, good. All right, so just pause one bit. I think I am going to be wrapping this evening. I'm going to bring a wrap on the show where with the digestive system. We're going to be going through that again. And then I don't want to go to enzymes, because we're going to be out of time for enzymes. And we're going to take this up in another show. I do hope that you are clear on all the things that we have covered. Usually we take more time to cover everything on the live. When we do the video, what we would cover in 2 hours on the live, we cover for half an hour in a video. All right, so let me just start again with the digestive system, and I'm going to be walking you through it very slowly. So we begin in the buccal cavity, or the mouth. All right, food leaves the buccal cavity and it goes to the back of the mouth. Can somebody give me the days it does? All right. Sure, we can give you. Please be reminded that our channel is CSEC Biology, the cover page. CSEC Biology, the cover page. Once you subscribe, you could just go on I think it's community for you, or discussion, and you'll see the lineup for the show. You'll see the topic that we'll be covering, and all that is there. But the days for the show: Friday evening at 5, Sunday evening at 5, Wednesdays at 5. We try to go 2 hours or 2.5 hours. We don't go over 2.5 hours. We try not to do that. All right. And at the end of the show, we try to have this connection with the Caribbean, just to remind ourselves that we're one big family. All right. So Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays at 5. Thank you very much, Natisha. So let me just go through this with you now, and you can go with me. All right. Sir, do you have any other classes? Any other classes? Oh, online for you guys, I just have 6 hours of class on a Friday, on a Wednesday, and on a Sunday. Outside of that, you can find videos to lessons on my channel. So the live classes are going faster than the video session. But but I do post videos. I posted 2 videos today. I have another video I'll post by tomorrow morning. I will try as much as possible to premiere a video at 6 in the morning. So a premiere is something like a live, but when I premiere a video, you'll be watching the video. You can't stop the video from playing once you click on it. The video will play, and you could type your question if you have a question on the video in the chat, and I'll be on at 6 in the morning to answer your question as the video would play. So in that case, I wouldn't be talking as I'm talking now. You would be watching a video, and you know that I've been doing a lot of animation for labs and all of that as it relates to the CXC syllabus. So 6 in the morning, you can come on as much as possible. I'll try. If you want to know if we're going to have a live in the morning, if you want to know if we're going to premiere a video in the morning, go to the channel, go to community or discussion, with whichever it is for you, and you'll see what we're going to do for the other day. The timeline will be there for everything that we're doing. Leave a comment, leave a chat, say who you are if you wish. You're a part of the big family. We love you. We are happy that you're here. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. I think this is the warmest room you'll ever find. So I have videos outside of that. I work with the government of Jamaica. Outside of having this chat, I work with the government of Jamaica. Right? So I am a teacher in Jamaica. All right? Cool. So let's go. So we have the mouth. The food is going to leave the mouth, and it's going to go to the esophagus. Some books will say esophagus, esophagus. And then it's going to go down to the stomach. Just before it gets into the stomach, it has to pass through the cardiac sphincter. It gets into the stomach, and then it has to pass through the pyloric sphincter. Now, just right at the end of the stomach there, it is going to connect to what we refer to as the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. Now, connected to the duodenum, we're going to have the pancreas. And it's very important that the pancreas get connected here, because the pancreas is going to be secreting sodium hydrogen carbonate. I think that's it. Sodium hydrogen carbonate into the duodenum in order. Cartoon, sir. Thank you for the cartoon, sir. Big up yourself. Into the duodenum. We'll get to function, so don't bother quote me on sodium, whatever, carbonate, hydrogen carbonate. Don't quote me on that right now. I'm almost certain that's true, but don't quote me on that right now. All right, I'm not doing function right now. All right, so it gets to the duodenum, and from the duodenum, we have attached to the duodenum, we have pancreas, and we have the gallbladder. All right, the gallbladder is attached to it as well. And then we go down now into the ileum. And then the ileum is connected to the large intestine at the cecum. And just below the cecum, that they call the cecum or cecum, we have the appendix. And then we start going up the ascending colon. And then going across, we have the transverse colon. And then coming down, we have the descending colon. All right, I have not made mention of the jejunum because I'm not seeing it on the syllabus. All right, and then we come down now to the rectum, and then we come to that part which seems to be a problem for the chat for most persons today. All right, so I will go again, and you can see if you can follow me, count on your finger. I'm going to be going very slowly, and I might add a thing or two. Don't worry yourself. So let us go. Food gets into the mouth. 1. Then it is pushed to the back of the mouth by the tongue. 2. Then it gets into this long tube called the esophagus. Then we get to that sphincter. The sphincter is called the cardiac sphincter. Then we go on down into the stomach. Then we move away from the stomach through another sphincter called the pyloric sphincter. From the pyloric sphincter, we get into the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. Then we go down to the ileum, which is another very important part because that is where absorption takes place. The bulk of what we absorb takes place there. And then that is connected into the large intestine at the cecum. Just below the cecum, there's this little finger-like projection there that is called the appendix. Then we have the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon. And then over there on the descending colon, we'd have the rectum, and then at the end, you know what we have there. And there's also a little sphincter there that should protect you from, messing up yourself. So pretty much that is what the digestive system looks like. Next week, Friday, we're going to be looking at function. Next week, Friday, we're going to be looking at, of course, enzymes. And we're going to, I just want to make mention of some enzyme very quickly before we go. I want to make mention of course, the salivary amylase in the mouth. I want to make mention of renin and pepsin in the stomach. Renin is found in babies, and core function of renin is to cause the milk to clot in the stomach there. And then we get on down into the duodenum. And remember, in the stomach, it's acidic. It's the condition there is acidic. And we get on into the duodenum, and there we are going to be finding trypsin. That's the one that you'll have problem remembering, because you will always remember that we have pancreatic amylase, and then we have a lipase enzyme there dealing with fat. All right. So we have these three enzymes there. And then when we get on down into the small intestine, we have some more enzymes that we want to talk about. Remember, the condition is in the mouth is alkaline, stomach acidic, and then we have some amount of neutral pH when we get down there to the duodenum there. And we're going to be talking about why that is so. All right, so we have a really interesting lineup for Friday. Remember, there is no real continuity from a Friday class to a Sunday class to a Wednesday class. What we do on a Friday is different than what we do on a Sunday. So next Sunday, we are going to be continuing on genetics. I want to finish the genetics with you. We're going to continue on genetics. We're going to be looking at codominance and incomplete dominance. And of course, I'm going to recap what we did with the other genetic diagrams. And then for Wednesday next week, we are going to continue with the food web and the food chain, right? So I started to tell you a little bit about it, and I was telling you about who is doing the eating and all of that. So now I have to move a little further to talk about the energy transfer through the food chain, the energy transfer through the food web, that type of thing we have to address. And of course, I want to introduce the species. I want to talk about the links and the here with the predator-prey relationship. I really want to bring that to the lesson for next week, Wednesday. So that's going to be it for the lesson today. Now it's a time for our Caribbean integration. I'll remind us of a person we have in the room. And of course, I'm going to be asking these persons just to step forward for me. And again, for those persons who are late here, I just want to say which country you're from. I'm going to start with, I'm seeing Otisha on the screen. Otisha is a Guyanese, and she's here for every show. Tanisha is a Guyanese, and she's always here. And then we've had Amanda. We have Amanda from St. Vincent, and she's now here with us as family. And we have our St. Lucian friend. St. Lucian, could you type again? Just say hi for me. Amanda Andrews. Alina is also here from... Alina, where are you? Type something, Alina. Don't do that to us. You're here and you didn't even say, hi, Mr. Wilson. Wagwan. Me know a little patwa, you know. Do something, man. Talk a little patwa. Wagwan. Big up yourself, Mr. Wilson. You're good? Alina Johnson is from St. Lucia as well. Alina, little patwa. Big up yourself. You hear me? I tell you, everything good. All right? Good. All right. Juliana Walker is usually a person from Jamaica who really deal with the Jamaica stuff. All right. So that's St. Lucia. St. Vincent. Big up yourself, sir. Yeah, big up yourself. Alina Johnson, St. Vincent. Very good. Trinidad and Tobago, where are you? Big up yourself. And come talk a little patwa for us as well. Big up yourself. And we did look at that artist that you told us from Guyana. We did have our fair share of laugh. All right. Walker, sir, Medea man. All right. Big up yourself. Walker is from Trinidad and Tobago. Big up yourself. No, you must have some local tongues. All of you guys must have some local tongues from your country. Patwa is our local tongues. So teach us something. We want to say hi in your tongues from your country. Who's that now? Oh, my. We have Grenadian in here. Anthony. Big up yourself, Anthony. Wagwan, you good? Yeah, my iron, my good. Hey, Julian. All right, yes, big up yourself. So the house is full, the Caribbean full. Remember, yes, boss. Big up blouse and skirt. Yes, but the man sound like the man knows some part of the man knows some Jamaican. Oh, yeah. So we can't really talk to you like the Chinese and talk in the old where they don't want us to understand. So when we get here, we still can't talk in a part that you won't understand. You understand the part thing good. All right, so we know who is a big artist in Guyana. And last week, we had our fair share of laugh because they sent us a big artist. So now I'm going to ask my Jamaicans. Hi, Otisha. All right, so we have been some person healing us, some persons from across the Caribbean. Nitisha Francis is here. My facial expression. Yeah, man, I think up, man. You don't know, so I have this twin personality. All right, so we want to hear about that. We want to hear about that big thing. That tell us something big about your country. Whether it is humor, whether it is something serious, it is fine. The Guyanese made us laugh last week. Adi Plus, what's the name of that artist from Guyana again that we watched? All right, talk Jamaican, talk to your friends overseas. Tell them a little bit about Jamaica and ask them some questions before we go. It's a big community and we always have to chat. All right, for me, Mr. Wilson, I am a Jamaican. I like nature. I am an environmentalist. I am a biologist. I am an agriculturalist. I like computers. I write most of the stuff that you see. I am still waiting to have an editor that I can properly edit them. I write the cartoons that I put out. I write the animations and all of that. All right. I remember. All right. Baby Skillo. We watch Baby Skillo all night that night when our Guyanese told us about Baby Skillo. All right. All these persons, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, tell us the big artists you have out there, the artists that we need to watch on YouTube tonight because them have a buzz. And then I'm going to ask Nitisha or Juliana Walker, one of those persons, just tell them what's happening in Jamaica, what's trending in the culture with the music and that type of thing. Who is that person for them to watch tonight? Right? And I don't want to send them go watch some serious person who want some laugh after this class. All right, Nitisha, Jamaican produce goods, music. All right, so Nitisha is Jamaican. And if you want to find Blue Mountain, ask Nitisha. She really know that. I know that Blue Mountain is our premier national park in Jamaica. It's the highest mountain in Jamaica, Blue Mountain. And of course, it's really, really cool. All right. One of my favorite, I like all the nature places in Jamaica. I have been to Rich Falls. That's a nice falls. I've been to Green Grotto Cave. I've been to Twin Sister Cave. I have gone all around. 100%. I love the song Mango. All right. Who does Mango? St. Lucian Grenadian is a mixer culture and a mixer mingle, man. Talk, no, man. Walk up and down in the room, no, man. Ask some question about Jamaica. No. You don't hear nothing about Jamaica where you don't know what you want to know. Otisha Gray certified Jamaican. Otisha Gray certified Jamaican. She talk more patois than I do. The only thing is that I eat more rice than she does from Guyana. All right, what do we have to say? Come on, we don't want to waste the time here. We want to ensure that we are mixing and mingling. Juliana Walker, it's a song. Who does that song, Juliana? All right, so I'm going to give you another 2 minutes to mix and mingle, and then we are going to cut. Amanda Andrews, Jamaica is my next vacation destination. When you are coming to Jamaica, ensure that the whole family know that we charter one big Kingston bus and come out at airport, come meet you, and like, yeah! Juliana Walker, one of them. Madman, yo. All right. I want to travel to all the Caribbean island. I want to do the same thing. I want to travel to. I always said that I wanted to travel all the Caribbean island before I start Europe. I have never traveled, but definitely I'm going to be doing the Caribbean, then Europe. All right. Natisha Francis, up the mountain is actually peaceful. I know that, Natisha. I know that. All right. So we have just a minute to go. Make sure that you're asking questions. Make sure that you're bigging up the family. You never know when I drop in one of these countries, when you drop in Jamaica, if it's even to say I from someone, or to find out where are the those hit location, those must place see in Jamaica. If you're a nature lover, I like to say Portland is a nice green parish, nice place to be. But if you are here for the glim and glamour, then it's going to be St. Anne or Montego Bay. They have a whole lot of hotels and all of that. Kingston is a business destination. So if you want a business trip or you want to see what real hardcore urban Jamaica look like, I think Kingston is a nice place. But there's also New Kingston, which is sort of, though it is in Kingston, it's a way different place from the other part of Kingston. Pretty much that's it. A whole lot of place, a whole lot of nice place we have here. And you don't want to visit Jamaica and you don't get a taste of the Jamaican jerk pork or jerk chicken or jerk something. Just don't allow anybody to jerk you. Like I want to go to Guyana to ensure I get some of the pepper pot. I really want to travel to Jamaica. Yes, you right after COVID, I think this is a destination. Low. Oh, you have to roll up there when all see how me sort out all. I gonna laugh at me. All right, I'm good. I tell you that Otisha Gray, she's Jamaican, she know more patois than I do, So big up yourself. We are out of time. Thank you very much for joining me. I have another video to go out. I can't say that I'll premiere in the morning. I might premiere the video for Monday morning. I'll premiere a video Monday morning at 6. We sent out 2 videos today. One is on the need for chlorophyll for photosynthesis. It is just like the lab book would have said it. So if you are doing a virtual lab, you could use it as a virtual lab. We also sent out light, and the syllabus asks us to also do reducing sugar. Remember that some plants are storing carbohydrate, storing starch. Some plants are storing starch. That's what we want to talk about, not carbohydrate, protein, and lipid. Storing starch. So when you test for starch, you're going to get that blue-black color. But there's also plants like onion and scallion that are storing reducing sugar. So when we talk about the product of photosynthesis, we have to look at these. Now, I'm going to be putting in a virtual lab that we're going to be testing onion or scallion for the reducing sugar, and I'm going to add it to the first part of the photosynthesis video. Then I'm going to have 2 more videos left for photosynthesis, and then we roll on into the other topic. But all the videos are coming. They're a little slow, and I'm sure that you'll get them in good time. So we're wrapping up now. I think it's time that we say bye until Sunday. I really want to travel to Jamaica. Very good. Botanical Gardens in St. Vincent is very pretty. And I never leave my camera because I always have my film stock. Who is that? Nanko, is that Jamaican? Big up yourself, sir. Big up. Butterpills, big up yourself as well. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure all the time. All the time is going to be my pleasure. Tanisha Gray. Pishing wing wing wing. Where you know that the song they're from? That is one of the Pishing wing wing wing. Tanisha, that is too much Jamaican now, Otisha Gray, have a blessed night. Big up yourself, Otisha. Alina Johnson, bye. Big up yourself until Sunday. Natisha Francis, sir, we miss out enough of the genetics class, Never mind, we are going to pick up on the genetics thing Sunday. We're going to be doing a good thing on genetics for Sunday. You know that I am going to be sort of leading the charge there for genetics. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Natisha Francis, cool. Butterpills, bye, sir. Yeah, take it easy. Be good for the weekend now. Please be safe. Stay away from trouble if you can. Thanks much for being here. Bye. We're over and out from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. It's Mr. Wilson, CSEP Biology HSB Live. Until Sunday, 5 p.m. Good evening.